Hey, folks, making this screencast to briefly benchmark today's lecture. I hope to be brief by this, but essentially, you should be studying today transregional trade networks of the classical and post classical ages. I'll share a couple links with you as well, a couple supplemental video clips to help enhance the content. Shout out to Mr. Clemente for letting me steal some of his slides. Um, and I'll share this out with his people as well. So let's start with the why. As always, we should always start with the why are we studying this? Why is this important? And let's start with a quick look at trade today, global markets, the interconnectedness of people, resources, and money. And I don't know, maybe you know what's going on out there. I'm safe. I'm in a bunker. I'm really comfortable. Uh, I'm underground. And, you know, I don't really follow too much what's going on up there. They keep people like me safe because I have, a lot of information that needs to be kept safe during times like this. But from my understanding, the markets are reacting. There's a reaction, right? uh, Something's going on with some sort of health situation, and the global markets are reacting. That's because there's an interconnectedness, an interreliability of goods, resources, capital, money, things of that nature. So it's complicated stuff. How did it get so complicated? I think we used to just kind of like diddly bop around, and we used to kind of just be nomadic hunter gatherers who lived in these river valley civilizations, and eventually we grew into this uh, global society, right? So trade is a very important thing. A couple concepts I want to review with everyone: the concept of cultural diffusion, the idea of that ideas spread, religion spreads, clothing styles spread. For you kids, sometimes it's your fads like uh, tick. What is that called? Tic tac. Your Tic Tac, like the mints. They had Tic Tacs when I was a kid too. That's not new. Uh, anyway, so think about cultural diffusion when you think about this unit. Uh, the idea that all of these things are going to be spreading through trade. So you can take a minute. I'll share this out because I know I'm cutting some off, but I'll share this out with you as well so you can take a look at it. But large empires end up emerging uh, as massive amounts of goods become available. And civilizations begin to expand and grow. Um, and people are now trading and begin to trade things like luxury goods, things like silk and spices and perfumes. And really, they look to trade things that have a low weight, that are not heavy, but a high value. And that's why silk is so good because it's not heavy to transport, but it's got high value. It's also why some spices are good, and perfumes and things of that nature. Um, so, a couple trade routes you should know, and trade networks you should know. You should know obviously about the Silk Road. You should know about Indian Ocean regional trade routes. You should know about Mediterranean trade routes, and I'll go through it primarily in this screencast. I'll go through what you should know about like the Silk Road. And offshoots, like specifically like the Royal Road, which Darius the First put together, and things of that nature. So there's a John Green video, obviously, on the Silk Road. There's you should check that out when you're binge watching John Green. But in in brief, you should know that this is an example of relay trade, whereas it's not like it's 5,000 miles, right, worth of roads. So it's not like it was one straight shot of trade. It was different checkpoints, and throughout the entire network, there was an interconnectedness. The Silk Road isn't just one road, it's a network of roads. Think of it like threads that put together your shirt. There's not one thread. It's a network of threads that hold together my shirt. This example of relay trade is what connects the exchange of goods. A couple things to know: it's dangerous to cross the Silk Road. There's there are people who want to cause harm, um, and as I mentioned before, there's a focus on luxury items that have a high profit margin. Right? We see like these oasis towns beginning to grow and almost become centers of trade. What else comes along these trade routes? Disease, right? Travel causes disease. Have we heard of this before? Hmm. Travel causes disease. Thank goodness that doesn't still happen. Oh. And a couple empires also grow out of these. And we've studied some of these empires specifically. So yeah, today you're going to spend time looking at the Silk Road a little bit, studying this some more. Again, I mentioned the Persian Road or the Royal Road, and all of these arteries, if you will. I mean, if we were thinking like this is a human body, and the what's pumping the blood, what's pumping the stuff, these are like arteries. Wait for it. Wait for it. John Green, the Mongols, right? We're gonna in a couple days or so we're gonna begin to look at the Mongols and how they were a nomadic civilization. Can you imagine that? A civilization that's nomadic, um, and the importance of horseback and all of that. Some other basic notes here. We're gonna the emergence of the Abbasid caliphates and Sharia law, which gave protection to merchants. Um, what we consider Pax Mongolica, you should definitely know that term, and you should be able to define that. And yes, how the Yuan Empire becomes the Mongol Empire. Okay. Um, So, those are some of the key concepts. You can see them up here that you're going to read about, that you're going to study. How Yersinia pestis spreads from fleas to rats, and rats get on ships, and ships transporting goods bring disease. Yersinia pestis being what was infested in those rats that uh, uh, brought disease. Hmm. Rats and mice causing disease. Hmm. Yeah. So a couple of those are the big takeaways. And I'll probably make another screencast or another lecture for you guys to chew on, to think about. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what I got right. Let me know what I got wrong. Um, and if I got anything very wrong, make a screencast that's better and share it out.